all my Crimsonites, and welcome to the Crimson Cure channel, where we embrace our femininity, increase our womanly values, and celebrate our brothers. So join me on our feminine journey to learn, heal, and grow. Hey there, my Crimsonites, and welcome to the Crimson Cure channel. I'm your hostess, femininity coach, and author, The Crimson Cure. And this is my perspective. I may have to, I don't know. Y'all seen Michael? I watched it. It was good. It was good. A little rushed, just a little though. Just a little. So, anyway. It was good. It was good. It focused on the Jackson 5 and on through him branching off into his solo career. So it ended with bad with like him releasing bad. Jafar did an excellent job. He did his uncle very proud. I think that if Michael was here to see that, he would have been very happy with Jafar's performance. Jafar has been the best on-screen Michael, and it's not close. He didn't play his uncle, he channeled him. There were a lot of scenes where he channeled Michael. That was Mike. I was like, oh, okay. This is how we doing it. Jafar did an excellent job sitting on that screen looking like his daddy and his uncle at the same time. Standing up there looking just like Jermaine. And then on the next take looking just like Michael. But anyway, if y'all have not seen Michael, go see it. It was good. It was good. It didn't focus on the foolishness or none of that. It focused on the genius of Michael Jackson, as it should have been. I have not even heard no movie critics. Don't listen to nobody talking about something was wrong with that movie. Wasn't nothing wrong with that movie. Was nothing wrong with the depiction of Michael and his family dynamics and things of that nature. Yeah. There were moments where it was like, yeah, he got his uncle down pat, baby. He studied that. He had his uncle down pat. Okay. Don't even trust that. Don't even trust that. That was very nostalgic for those of us who watch Michael in real time. Young generation, ZA, whoever y'all is at this point, the young ones, I'm talking to y'all. Stop playing with Michael Jackson name. Stop doing that. It ain't no another Michael Jackson. It's not gonna be. It's not gonna be. He was one of one. That's it. That's all. We got Michael Jackson. That's it. That's all. End of the discussion. Now, he's the number one, and it's not close. It's not close. So anyway, we're going to move on to Miss Bryant, because I thought that I could sort of leave this whole situation alone. And I was going to do a review of her interview on Joe Budden. I have not even had an opportunity to get around to that. Because she back on social media playing word games. In my opinion, she playing word games. I have pulled up her website. We're going to take a look at some things today. Because she's the one that came out. She Dr. Cheyenne Bryant. She did that. And we know why. Now she want to move into the podcaster, I guess, life coach, whatever the case, field, and trying to act like she never touted herself as a therapist when we know that's what she did to get on. She never told nobody, don't refer to me as a therapist or don't refer to me as a doctor, or because I'm not operating in that capacity. Now she want to get out here and play little word games. And I'm tired of the word game. Because like I was saying Friday, I don't like how sometimes there's a group of Black people that straddle the fence when it comes to professional degrees, doctorates, whether or not you have certain credentials, whether or not you qualified to do this, that, or a third. On the one hand, they want to be able to utilize the titling in order to portray themselves as having more credibility. And then when we start asking about where did you get those credentials, what school, what program did you complete, where, you know what I'm saying, and just simply asking questions that you would ask anybody else, then all of a sudden the credentials don't matter. Why are we asking? We just hating and all of this other kind of stuff. And it's not hating. As I said before, nobody cares whether or not you have a certain kind of credential. We care if you lie or if you mislead about the credentials that you may or may not have. That's what we care about. If you don't have a particular set of credentials or you don't have a particular kind of degree or things of that nature, that's fine. You don't have to have it, but then you don't have to say that you have it or lead people to believe that you have a certain type of credential that you don't have. Be ambiguous about it. So the thing that made me want to talk about it again, even though I was going to come at it from the Joe Budden thing, but then I'm like, oh, she acting crazy anyway. I wanted to share this. Let me see. Now, this is one where she called herself clapping back at people who were criticizing what she said on the Joe Budden podcast when it came down to whether or not she was going to work under a license, this, that, and the third. And so she answers, somebody says, so you are unlicensed and unqualified. Wow. Then she says, I'm the most sought after psychology expert life coach in the world. I don't need a license for that, sweetie. Pre-order my new book, Live Your Promise, link in the bio. Then she comes here to further state, I don't need a license because I'm not a therapist. I'm a psychology expert and life coach. I don't understand what's so hard for people to grasp. Coaches do not need a license. I do not identify as a therapist. My bio does not say therapist, and my website does not say therapist. It clearly says psychology expert and life coach. Then somebody said psychology expert life coach. Right. Somebody then came and said, you can quiet the noise and confusion simply by producing evidence of the prior licensing that you had, that you once practiced under. Every state keeps record of it, even if it is expired. For good measure, share evidence of the doctoral degree as well. Those of us that are indeed licensed mental health professionals and take ethics seriously will appreciate this transparency. Much appreciated. A dissertation can be looked up in the Library of Congress. So if it cannot be found, the doctorate degree doesn't exist. Okay? This person said if she's operating as a life coach, then she's right, but not if she's using psychological methodology and practices. She is giving up her right to diagnose, which means she would have to refer a client to a licensed therapist if needed. I ain't mad at her as long as she life coaching. Okay? As a coach, she doesn't need to be licensed. Also, as a coach, she should not be practicing like a therapist or criticizing therapists or speaking on insurance and diagnoses. She allowed herself to be portrayed as a psychologist for a very long time, and that is the issue. Coaches have nowhere near the training that psychologists, therapists, psychiatrists, or psych MPs have. And somebody say, I'm a billionaire. I don't need $1 billion for that, sweetie. Okay. Then, so what we're going to do, and I don't think that she get that part. If she don't use doctor in her name, stop referring to yourself like that. Just stop it. We're going to take a little read. Hopefully you guys can see some of this. This is her about page on her website. Dr. Bryant's mission is to spread her message and expertise on how to lead a healthier, happier, balanced, and more fulfilling life. For years, she has shared her wisdom, awareness, mastery, and insight through her private practice. When you have a private practice, that means that you had to have been working under a license, yes? Through her private practice, book, lectures, workshops, and assisting individuals with life impairments and challenges. Dr. Bryant embarked on a similar journey as the one you are undertaking, assisted by Iyanla Vanzant, Oprah Winfrey, Marianne Williamson, and many more. Dr. Bryant's passion for healing, encouraging, and empowering others is what led her to become a doctor of psychology and life coach. We continue to read. Dr. Bryant attended Cal State University of Northridge at age 17. She is 43 as of this year. She is 43. How old was she? What year was it at when she was 17? What year was that? Somebody do the quick math for me, if you please. While there, she obtained a double degree in psychology and Pan-African studies. During her first 2 years, she was undecided as to what field she would pursue as a career. Organically, she ended up choosing psychology, whatever that means. She still wasn't quite sure why, however. She didn't realize what triggered her interest until she entered the master's program at University of Phoenix. Now, we know that University of Phoenix is one of those kind of degree meal places. Okay. She was about halfway through the master's program and boom, it hit her. She had a lot of healing within herself that needed to be done. Dr. Bryant's desire for self-fulfillment, healing, peace, and balance within herself and others drew her to the field of psychology. Being an overachiever that she is, Dr. Bryant decided to pursue her doctorate degree in counseling psychology from Argosy University. Argosy University. The history of Argosy. Education management from 2001 to 2017. In July of 2001, Argosy Education Group was acquired by Education Management Corporation. 2 months later, Argosy Education Group brought together the American School of Professional Psychology, the Medical Institute of Minnesota, and the University of Sarasota under the Argosy University name. Students of the Argosy, listen closely. Students of the Argosy University in Dallas filed a Texas lawsuit in 2009, alleging that they believed that the university recruiters inaccurately informed students that the school would soon receive accreditation from the American Psychological Association. The school had not completed accreditation processes by the time the students graduated. At the time of the lawsuit, Argosy University had not applied for APA accreditation. According to a response from Argosy University's parent company, EDMC, accreditation with the APA was not required for clinical psychology licensure in many jurisdictions. Argosy officials rejected charges of fraud, noting that pursuit of APA accreditation for the Dallas campus was still underway. As of 2013, Argosy University in Dallas did not offer any degrees in clinical psychology and was not listed as part of the university's College of Clinical Psychology. In December of 2013, EDMC agreed to pay $3.3 million as part of a lawsuit And the settlement did not require EDMC to admit liability. Are y'all understanding that Argosy was an online university among many different online universities? Okay. Let me be very clear. Depending on what you're trying to study and what you're trying to get a degree from, I don't have no problem with going to an online school as long as that school is accredited. And you know what I mean? Like I said, depending on what kind of bachelor's or what kind of degree you're trying to get, it probably is not an issue going to an online school, right? But the part of this I just read about Argosy, it was questionable whether or not they had the proper accreditation to even be telling people that when they graduated, they could use the quote unquote degree that they quote unquote study for. How you going to a school that's questionable about whether or not the major that you study for would serve you, or that you would even be legally able to work under that? This is the problem, part of the problem at least, that I'm having. Because when people get degrees where in order to practice or to work in the field that you got the degree in, you got to be licensed, you got to go through this exam, you got to pass this thing, you have to do this residency, you have to do this and that in order to like be considered to be actually qualified and legally able to do this work without like getting sued for doing it. When you have those types of degrees and you want to work in those kinds of fields, the first thing that anybody really look at is what school did you go to in order to get it? Because that says a lot about your competency level, or at least that's the image. So if someone goes to one of the best law schools in the country, and they graduate from law school and then they pass the bar, then they're okay, you graduated from such and such school, man, that's one of the top law schools. Or you passed the bar on the first try, oh, that's excellent. You're considered to have a lot of good potential and to be more competent. Now, that's not to say that if you didn't go to the top school that you're not competent. That's not what I'm saying. But I am saying that's usually the perception. So when you tell me that you went to go and get certain types of degree, but you went and got it from one of those online kind of schools, you may or may not get a side eye for it. Because what happens is, it's like, okay, you technically went to go and get a degree, but we don't know how competent you actually are to do the work that you quote unquote studied to do. Especially when it comes to health, whether that's a medical doctor, whether you are supposed to be helping people with their mental health or things of that nature, when you are interfering with other people's bodies and or mind, now that takes a certain regulation, whether you like it or not. Whether any of us like it or not, we live in a society where you cannot, not without punishment, you cannot come and say and then try to practice as a doctor, a lawyer, and certain other professions where it is called for you to have certain education, perhaps licensure, and things of that nature. You can't practice this profession without it, not legally. We don't get to cherry pick when it's important and when it's not. I don't get to watch 2 or 3 YouTube videos on how to do heart surgery and then walk into a hospital and say, you know what, that next heart surgery you got, put me on the docket, I'm gonna do it. No, absolutely not. Get this quack out of here. She crazy. Arrest her. How does she even get this far in the hospital on the 5th floor? How she get her out of here? So there are certain things that you don't need a whole lot of paperwork in order to do. Coaching, for instance. This country has not regulated that to the degree that they've regulated therapy and things of that nature. It's not regulated to that degree. So you don't have to have any particular paperwork, licensure, degree behind your name. You don't have to have completed any kind of necessary education about it unless you want to. All of the education that is tied to coaching is elective. It's optional. You don't have to do it in order to say I'm coaching people, because essentially right now, as of this recording in America, coaching is essentially giving people advice. That's basically what it is. It's a fancy name for somebody that's able to give you some kind of life advice or something like that. So there are absolutely avenues that you can do. There are plenty of professions that you may choose that don't require a whole lot of regulatory things. And it's perfectly fine. You can do it. You can make you a good little bag doing it too. So if you wanted to just be a coach, you should have come out like that. Don't come out saying that you doing nothing else. Say, I'm a life coach. Nobody would have had a problem. Nobody would have questioned it. Nobody would have questioned it. You can make you a hot little bag doing that. Look at Ian Levinson, had a whole 7 or 8 seasons of a show, Fix My Life, and people was really tuned in. I was one of them. I love watching that show. And you may not have agreed with everything that she said, but for the most part, I agree with a lot of it. I certainly did. So all you had to do was be straight with the way that you were talking to people from the get-go. That's all you have to do. And Black people kill me not wanting to do that. You want to talk all around it. She want to talk around it. Dr. Bryant is a proactive community activist. She sits on many community and collegiate boards, such as Los Angeles Harbor College, University of West Los Angeles Law School, and many others. She volunteers her time providing community care, inspirational speeches, lectures, mentoring, and resources to youth state facilities and at-risk youth programs. In 2014, Dr. Bryant founded the Dr. Bryant team, which created and provided employment opportunities. The Dr. Bryant team focused on providing food, hygiene, clothing programs, and resources to the disadvantaged communities of Los Angeles County, all of which Dr. Bryant solely funded. As a result of her impact on the community, Dr. Bryant founded the Dr. Bryant Foundation, which is a non-for-profit that provides school supplies, clothing, computers, and exposure to the underprivileged, and implements needs and resolutions to the community to advance the inner city youth and families. If you had simply left it without all that other trying to do something else, if you had simply left it at stuff like that, nobody questions you, because you don't need accreditation to do community activist work. You don't need a particular degree to do community activist work. You don't need a particular degree. You don't need to answer to a board in order to do mentoring work. You don't need it. But what you cannot do is say you a life coach, but then also say you a psychology expert and bill as if you are doing therapist level work. Can't do it. She wrote the gist of it, then threw it in Chat GPT to make it sound real good. That's how she get that. See, nothing's wrong with being an activist, or you was trying to help the community, or you set up an organization in order to do certain things. Nothing wrong with that. Nobody needs any kind of paperwork. Nobody has to oversee that. If that's what you're gonna be, then that's what you can do that. Anybody in the community can do community work, and nobody bats an eyelash to ask them where they went to school to do it from. Just as long as you have the know-how and you willing to get in there and get your hands dirty in order to do community work, then you can do it. Nobody questions it. Her website says something very key. I don't want it to go over your head. In this second paragraph, it says she was about halfway through the master's program. Boom, it hit her. She had a lot of healing within herself that needed to be done. Dr. Bryant's desire for self-fulfillment, healing, peace, and balance within herself and others drew her to the field of psychology. Why am I pointing that out? Because most of these women that are like Miss Bryant go into psychology for that reason. They be broken and they go into psychology in an attempt to self-diagnose. They be trying to figure out the inner workings of why they operate the way that they do. And I don't know what good it doing, because most of the time they don't actually do the healing. They just find slick ways to talk about the trauma in order to grift people. And I'm sorry, that's just after these messages. We'll be right back. I need everybody to go to ashkicking.com. The link is pinned to the top of the chat. If you want to keep your skin looking and feeling its absolute best, then you need the body butter on screen right now. And if this is going to be your first order, please take advantage of the 10% discount using the promo code Crimson at checkout. Once again, the link is pinned to the top of the chat, ashkicking.com. Oh, you guys are bam, 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 bam. You got to hit the like button. Bam, bam. You got to go ahead and hit the like button for me. Thank you, Deep Thoughts, at seeing her with all these so-called internet celebrities and her hyenic reactions were unethical disdain to this profession. And I'm gonna save it. I'm gonna save my thought until after this.
One, two.
It feels amazing. I like how it's making you do the push.
This right here is official. Never really saw anything like this before. How do you know when you're doing the proper push up? You gotta go all the way down, chest touching the floor, coming back up full extension. But now that you told me how to do it, now how you know when you're doing it? You don't know, and you won't know unless you have what it is. Nah, that was fire. That was fire. Make sure it keeps you accountable. Accountability is everything. So
incredible. You can't cheat.
great.
Go all the way down and all the way up, and that's one solid rep. Good money.
That's it. It's no arguing, no debating, no questioning. All the way down, all the way up. You got to start and finish the same way. She got my shit. I'm glad.
Fucking crib raiser.
I hope you guys are as excited about the rollout for the Proper Push as I am. The link is pinned to the top of the chat, theproperpush.com/VIP. In order to unlock your VIP exclusive and support the rollout for the Proper Push and lock in your VIP spot for just $1, and you get membership perks in order to do this. 20% off the Proper Push when the product is ready to launch. Exclusive Proper Push merch, instant alerts when the Kickstarter actually goes live, and first access to early bird Kickstarter rewards. There are only 100 spots for the VIP exclusive offer, but everyone can support. And all that you need to do is hit the link, put your email in, and reserve VIP now and confirm your email. But in order to lock in your VIP exclusive offer, you're going to be sent that invitation. Check your inbox. If it's not in your inbox, please check your spam and your junk folders as well. And you'll be able to lock in your VIP exclusive membership for $1 through that email. All right. We're going to continue on. Because I seen this comment right here. He done already tried to back her up. Umar, we don't need you to do it. We don't need it, Umar. We don't need it. We don't need it. You don't have no credibility either, sir. I hope you understand that you don't have any credibility either. Dr. Umar is, who is also unlicensed, is coming to Cheyenne Bryant's defense following the backlash over her licensing comments on the Joe Budden podcast. Please leave that sister alone. It's true, when licensed, you are under much more professional scrutiny, which can lead to you becoming unlicensed if the board finds fault with your methods and opinions. If you go against the system, you can be stripped of your credentials. Remember, Dr. Phil wasn't licensed, so the board couldn't punish him in any way. It's the reason I have never applied for my license. I do most of my work as a certified school psychologist anyway. But nonetheless, they could try and take my license solely because of my views on ADHD, which he calls absent dad from home disorder. You don't have no credibility either. Until I see students going in and out of that school, unless and until I see students going in and out of that school on a normal school day with a curriculum, I don't want to hear it. Because wasn't that school supposed to be opened up months ago? What didn't he just say? It's finally gonna open up for real, for real. I just got a problem with the misleading. I have a problem with allowing, you know what words you're saying to people, and you know how people are going to take it. You know how laymen's are going to take if you say you're a doctor, if you say you're this and you're that. People are going to take it a certain way, especially those who have not gone through these programs and do not work in those fields. So they may not be aware of everything that it takes and things that it don't take in order to work in those fields, be able to carry the credentials, be able to carry the title and things of that nature. Thank you again, Deep Thought said, can't one do both, be licensed and unlicensed? From my understanding, if you are not licensed, you cannot practice it. You can have gone through the education to get the degree, but if you do not have licensure, you cannot practice. And we want to try to say that, oh, it's just, you know what I'm saying, this board want to do this and want to do that. But the issue becomes, depending on what you're doing, if something go wrong, who do your client go to complain about you? It ain't no board, it ain't no oversight, because you don't work under that. So where does the patient or client turn if you overstep your bounds? Where do they go? Who do they turn to? Who do they talk to you about? Who do they talk to about you? This is why you have to be clear. Because when people say I'm a coach, they know you're not a doctor, you're not, you know what I'm saying, operating in that capacity. So they come to you of their own free will, understanding that. But if you say you're a therapist, or I practice, or I went to school for, or I'm a doctor for a certain thing, and you're maneuvering that way, people expect that there is some kind of oversight that you have, that you're affiliated with some clinic or hospital or network or something. Thank you, Miss Lou Casey, for the super sticker. I appreciate you. I'm not even going to stay here long because we almost done. But I had to come back and talk about you on the internet trying to clap back. You know what you said. You still refer to yourself as Dr. Cheyenne Bryant with that questionable degree from a questionable school. And don't want nobody to say nothing about it. Ew. She just want to be able to do what she want to do, and can't nobody sue her or say nothing. She want to be able to get one place and talk out one side of her neck, and get to another place and talk out another side of her neck. She don't want to be held to a level of professionalism. She don't want to be held to that stuff. She want to be able to show up at various places with a see-through mesh dress on, and nobody say that she's supposed to have decorum as a doctor. She want to be able to tell you what it takes to have a man, keep a man, have a relationship, keep a relationship, and she ain't got now. And I guess can't nobody call her up on call her to the carpet about it. You don't even have the life experience to say that you're drawing from that in order to help nobody. You trying to help somebody with a relationship, but you don't have one. And you never had one. Thank you again, Deep Thought said, thank you. Your wisdom goes a long way. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Anyway, she'll grift. In my opinion, she's a grifting hyena. And all she did was say, I want to be free to do the grifting. And I'm trying to like change y'all mind about how y'all see me, so that when I do this grifting, y'all will be okay with it. Anyway, I'm out of here. Jump down in the comment section. Let me know what you think. Like, share, subscribe to the channel if you have not. Once again, I'm your host, the Crimson Cure, and this was my perspective. Bye-bye, Crimsonites.